So a 20,000-year-old iceberg, we have it on the show. We'll get to it in moments. He's with us right now. The Canada Day Ice Bus Tour is coming to town. Matt Steeves, how are you, Matt?
Very well, thank you, Dylan.
This is exciting. I've never met a 20,000-year-old iceberg before.
It's a pretty neat occasion. So Canada 150, a lot of really cool things happen in Ottawa. So Iceberg Vodka, they got this idea because they actually use icebergs, iceberg water, to make their vodka.
Very cool.
So instead of bringing people out to Newfoundland and Labrador, very far away, they're bringing in a little bit of iceberg here, so you can get to actually feel it, cut a little off, taste it, feel how, taste how pure it is, etc.
How long has Iceberg Vodka been around for at this point?
They've been around for over 20 years, and it's been over 20 years that they've got this ice cowboy that goes out in the ocean in about this time of year, spring and early summer, and they actually go out and harvest icebergs. They get little tiny icebergs, they're probably the size of this table and bigger. They hoist them up and they take those back into their facility, melt the water, and it's just this pure fresh water, right?
And he's a cowboy.
And he's a cowboy, yeah. He's quite a wild character.
So you only have the one cowboy, and he does all of this?
It's Ed and his team of sea cowboys.
And his name is Ed. Okay, he's got a name. All right. Okay. So I know everybody's waiting to meet this iceberg, and we have. So we didn't bring a complete iceberg, obviously.
We've got a mini one here.
But we have a mini one. So now this is from.
This is from
Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. So this is from this is that 10 to 20,000-year-old iceberg water. It's frozen, and as you can see here, so when people get to see the real iceberg that's traveling around, they'll also get to, go cut a piece off, shave some off, taste it. I've also poured some of the melted iceberg water for us to taste here. It is really, it's just pure water. It's
How do we know that it's that old?
They've done some, so I guess you have to go back. How are icebergs made, right?
Yeah.
And they're from glaciers, and it's from that fresh water. So rain, snow, etc. It accumulates over thousands of years. It compresses, and then it basically, as those glaciers fall into the ocean, that produces an iceberg. So they're able to test it to determine the age, but it's also just that knowledge that icebergs are from the Ice Age, basically.
This is something. Okay, this is unique.
Yeah, it totally is.
So where's the tour taken you so far?
So the tour, it started in Southern Ontario. It's just this week. Today it's in Toronto. Tomorrow in Kingston, and then we've got it here for 2 days in Ottawa, which is pretty cool. Nice. So they're here for Canada 150, which is great. And they're at a couple campgrounds on Friday and Saturday, I believe, for some big Canada Day parties that are happening in town here. And I think at the LCBO train yards, perhaps on Friday. So people can actually go there, and you can go, touch it, taste it, and all that stuff.
So you're just inviting people to take this fancy little knife sort of dealie. This is like I feel like Yukon Cornelius with this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, totally. And then just like pick away at it. And take
exactly. They're going to be able to pick away. They're going to be able to take a little chunk there.
I'm going to try some iceberg.
And taste it, exactly. Again, I invite you, Dylan.
It's fresh.
Taste the water.
Can I hold on now? This is the water, right? Because I don't want to get this mixed up.
Yes, exactly.
Because this is the ice. I'm on the live TV, so I want to make sure it doesn't get all crazy.
Don't take a big sip of this one yet. Yeah, exactly.
But this is iceberg water. This is 100% iceberg water.
100%. That's that 10 to 20,000-year-old water. Never seen any contamination. Never seen emissions from diesel trucks or whatever.
Okay, really?
It's just pure water.
That's incredible.
That was locked in an iceberg.
And then this is pure iceberg vodka.
And that's the iceberg vodka. So again, 100% Canadian owned. They use iceberg water to make their vodka with, which is pretty cool.
What's the proof on this?
That's 40%. So what they do is they make the full spirit, and then they add the pure iceberg water to basically get it to 40%.
Okay. So should I give this like a try?
Please.
I'm not going to down it though, right? Because if I
well, smell it first.
I did. Oh, I did.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of light citrus on it.
So I can smell the iceberg.
And it's not harsh. No, it's very gentle. And then on the palate as well, I think you'll find it's quite smooth, round. It's there's a little bit. Yeah, it's alcohol.
Yeah, but it's very good. Like it is a very smooth taste, like you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Which is incredible. Okay, so how many icebergs? Because has this been a bumper year for icebergs? Apparently. apparently. I've heard that.
Yeah, it has been. And over the last few years, I've noticed like sometimes there's literally like there's hundreds of them coming down, of course, but sometimes thousands every season, right? And people in Newfoundland and Labrador, they get to see these when you're on the coast, and some of these huge ones, right? Yeah. Of course, the one that's touring around is in the back of a refrigerated vehicle. Yeah. It's not the size of Manhattan, like many of them, you know, and you may have heard some of them are, but more of a pint-sized one, yeah.
So what would an iceberg, like what kind of prerequisites do you have to be an iceberg? Meaning, like, what's the size?
Well, it's a good point. Really, any size, because they start off very big. When they break off those glaciers, fall into the ocean, they're typically quite large. And then as they make their way down Iceberg Alley, it's called.
Iceberg Alley?
Iceberg Alley, legit term.
Sure.
And that's between basically Greenland, south of Greenland, and Newfoundland, Labrador. So as they go down there, they slowly melt. And they are moving pretty good clip, like upwards sometimes 10, 15, 20 kilometers an hour. Yeah. But they break down, they slowly melt, so that when they get to the southern part of Newfoundland, sometimes they're relatively small. And that's when these guys show up and they get some of the smaller ones that they actually pick up, right?
Did you ever think growing up you'd know so much about icebergs?
I love science and whatnot, and it really is remarkable. And it's so Canadian too, right? Which is the other element of this. So they're going around, they're going to bring a flag with them and invite people to put, what do you really like about Canada? What's so unique about Canada?
Because you're looking for about 150 different stories as well, right, to publish?
Exactly. Okay. That's right. So, and people are going to write their little stories on a flag, and then they're going to go stick one on an iceberg and take a photo shoot.
Really?
Which is going to be kind of cool.
That's interesting.
Of course, they'll pick it up after because it will melt and fall
yes,
into
it will.
The water. But
so one more time quickly, so where exactly will you be this weekend?
So Train Yards is Friday, Train Yards LCBO. The ice bus will show up with the iceberg in it. So great opportunity. And then there's a couple campgrounds around town that and also there's an opportunity for people, if you go on the Facebook page, Iceberg Vodka, you can sign up and they're going to choose a couple people to take the ice bus to their little parties as well. Which is that would be a pretty unique.
And this weekend you can take an iceberg selfie.
Iceberg selfie, there you go, exactly.
Matt Steeves, Canada Day Ice Bus Tour. This has been a lot of fun, and we have more Daytime Ottawa coming up.